Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
Americans of Reddit, what are your thoughts on the FBI redacting Trump's name from the Epstein files? Only the victims should have their names redacted. You're absolutely correct. The fact that the victims have lived their lives in fear and shame and are now having to watch the exoneration of their abusers on the world stage is abhorrent, and it sickens me. Next, I anticipate we'll watch the Supreme Court rule in favor of Maxwell. But Trump is always a victim. He has all the cards, including the victim card. Well, yeah, what do you think the FBI spent those thousands of hours doing? On taxpayer dime, no less. The system is corrupted. I knew the files would permanently be altered as soon as Bondi touched them. We'll never see them in their unaltered form. I actually don't know about the permanent alterations. I think they thought they could and then found that it wasn't so simple, so they denied the existence of the files. I have to imagine a chain of custody for evidence like this is hard to FUSK with at a place like the FBI. I think that's what made them go from, hell yeah, we're reviewing him now, to, fuck. Unfortunately, I genuinely don't think it will matter. If they ever released truly unaltered records, MAGA would say Trump's name was planted. I'm absolutely appalled. I've lost faith in the government, legal and justice system 100%. Full stop. This is slowly turning out to be the biggest cover-up in American history, and it's happening right before our eyes, and people in a position to do something are slow walking. Appalled since 2015 like a normal person, or have you been hoping for the best up until now? It's been a fucking decade. We've watched our country slide down an ever-increasingly steep slope and now have an all but confirmed pedophile in the White House who is using law enforcement to scrub his name from the files. The only way we'd be closer to behaving like Putin is pushing people out of windows. Every Republican is complicit, and thanks to Fox News and social algorithms, folks will still vote for them in the midterms. I've been appalled since I became politically aware in the early 2000s. Republicans constantly getting away with bullshit with no repercussions, WMDs anyone. While simultaneously demanding Democrats be accountable for every little sin, like Kerry flip-flopping on his stance on the stupid war. Quite literally, we fucking told you assholes this shit would happen, and you voted for the racist chomo anyway, so sit and fucking spin. Quote, dead crickets over on the conservative sub. There was one post I saw that asked, being fully genuine, should Ghislaine Maxwell be pardoned? And the first comment back was, well, you know, a lot of Dems are on that list. God help us. Yeah, arrest 'em too. Because we're not a fucking cult. Dead crickets over on the conservative sub. That's because the mods over there have outright banned all posts related to Epstein unless it's in the megathread they created, which they censored heavily and let fall off the front page so no one sees it. I'm old enough to remember when child sex trafficking was against the law. And 3 months ago when Republicans cared about it. I mean, cared. They only pretended to care about it when they thought they could use it to smear their political adversaries. Make no mistake that conservatives don't actually see anything wrong with the rape and trafficking of children. That's exactly the same as not releasing the files. They need to be released, with the only redactions being the names or personal information of victims. Release the files. Honestly, I'll just assume that all redacted names are actually Trump, and it'll be even more damning. In the legal community, we call this spoliation of evidence, and it generally means that there is a presumption that the altered information says exactly what the other side alleges it does. He's in all the previously leaked files, and he has hundreds of pics with Epstein, and tons of other evidence that he was very close to Epstein and part of his inner circle. I'm used to the Justice Department protecting the politicians that control it. The redacting means literally nothing to me except another confirmation of what I already believed. And multiple girls associated with his pageants and businesses were trafficked. This is so appallingly obvious and has been for a decade. The pageant stuff has always stuck in my mind during all this. Grab em by the pussy. It's clear to me that he believes women are just objects for his enjoyment. Not a huge leap to believe that children are too. It's a joke. America is now no different than North Korea and Russia. A despot dictator that bows to no one and has no accountability. How quickly America has fallen. And I blame the Senate and Congress and the Supreme Court. Because those are the checks and balances. Your spineless, selfish, pathetic government can't do the one job they have, and now look where you are. America is now trash. But hey, at least your president's house will have a $200 million shiny gold ballroom. Expected. I honestly don't know why he cares, at this point. It's clear his base will never abandon him, and the Dems will never prosecute him. He could diddle a kid on live stream, and conservatives would cheer and celebrate so long as the kid was a migrant. He could diddle a white girl and all the bottle blonde jigsaw-faced clown-face maggot bimbos would be jealous. Laura Loomer is Jigsaw. As Trump said during his first election, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? What they actually heard was, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody rape your daughter, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? And they agree. To be fair, Dems literally tried multiple times to impeach and prosecute him. But Republicans went, nah. Biden didn't really care to prosecute him, more so remain impartial and stupidly let Merrick Garland drag his feet. But he's not nebulous, Dems. And when it was certain it wouldn't occur before the election, only the American people could have held him responsible. He was this close to facing serious prosecution. But then Americans decided yes, daddy more corruption, and as president, he literally could no longer be prosecuted and was able to destroy any investigation related to him. WTF America. There's a difference between the Democratic Party and the voters who support Democratic candidates. The Democratic leadership is feckless and weak, and they've been that way since. Honestly, some time after the ACA passed from my POV. I was on the opposite side of the fence back then, but Pelosi ran circles around the Republicans. If Biden wanted Trump prosecuted, he would have been. If Congress wanted Trump held responsible, they would have done more. Same thing with policies and primaries and Biden staying in the race and on and on. They tell us, our hands are tied because #rules and decorum. There's plenty of blame to go around, for sure, but we've seen this release the Epstein files play before, the prosecution of Trump for 91 criminal offenses. 100% the next thing we get from the White House is news that the original, undoctored files were lost in a tragic fireplace accident. Hunter Biden's laptop ate them. Trump raped little girls. Are you going to ignore that? I'm not. Shameful that the USA has elected a rapist pedophile as president. And knowingly, it wasn't a secret at all. He said he was going to release the files to make himself sound innocent, but anyone with half a brain knew the raw files would never be released. Someone should hire the jackass guy from the OG Happy Gilmore to go to all Trump speaking events, and whenever he starts talking the guy just breaks in with, "Yeah, rapist. Yeah, pedophile. Or, you will not cover this up, yeah, jackass." Quote, and then he gets disappeared. The fact that they're openly doing it tells me all I need to know. Trump is guilty and implicated by them. They don't even need to release them for me to know that. I'm just hoping for someone to leak them unedited, because I don't trust a damn thing the government will release about it. Seems like announcing that they are taking Trump's name out defeats the purpose of taking Trump's name out. Right, so, if his name is being redacted, that means his name's there to be redacted. Well, now I'll just assume every redacted name in there is Trump. His public comments about walking into children's dressing rooms at his pageants, about how great it is to grab women, reiterated in one of his depositions by the way, leering at and commenting about a 10-year-old on an escalator, his adjudication as a sexual assaulter, his wishing Maxwell well, and standing by that comment when asked, considering pardoning her, sending his personal, criminal lawyer to a private meeting with her, his many pictures with Epstein, and his declarations about Epstein being a 15-year friend, great guy who likes young women, the many, repeated gross sexual comments, and questionable pictures with his daughter, all didn't do anything, so sure, black out his name on the list. To add to the list, was unanimously found liable for sexual assault by a jury. A judge had to clarify that he was a rapist after he tried to sue one of his victims. His first wife, Ivana, said in her divorce deposition that Trump had violently raped her. 27+ women who knew Trump personally have credibly accused him of sexual assault. Trump met Melania through Epstein, and the first time he had sex with her was on his plane, indicating they were close, and having sex with people on Epstein's plane was normal. Epstein has said Trump gets a thrill out of engaging in deviant and taboo sexual behaviors, such as sleeping with his friends' wives. The Trump administration released a misleading tape that was missing up to 3 minutes and did not even show Epstein's cell, and claimed that was proof Epstein didn't kill himself, something that happened under Trump's first administration. His team just transferred Maxwell to a cushy, minimum security prison after interviewing her, despite objections from her victims and despite Maxwell not qualifying for the transfer due to her crimes. The president could violate a toddler on Fifth Avenue with the Epstein list, and not a single Republican in the country would hesitate in voting for him a fourth time because he lets them say the slurs they want to say. Removed. I think if your POTUS says he's innocent, then that's it, accept it and move on. Ha ha ha, just kidding. Everyone knows what's going to happen. The fat lying pose rapist convicted felon sex trafficking pedophile will experience the same consequences he always does. He'll drop a new crypto coin and make billions in profit. Loudly crying, don't want to live on this planet anymore. America is being ran by the most corrupt administration in history. They are robbing citizens and protecting pedophiles. Historically speaking, this generally only ends one way. It pretty much verifies that he's in the files and is either an Epstein client or Epstein partner. Right? Like if I was in the unfortunately position to be accused of such a thing, which I am not, I would want everything exposed and my name not redacted. It's common sense. It's also scary. Feels like an impeachable offense. The role of the FBI is not to protect politicians from politically inconvenient facts. Also, Trump is a pedophile and Vance is an accessory to pedophilia at his point. Only poor pedos go to jail. That's the lesson here. The people who voted for corrupt Donnie voted for corruption, end of ethics, end of democracy, end of the environmental protections, that thing that hosts all life on Earth, end of the Constitution, etc. Fuck every one of them.